Welcome back to the channel. And as you guys know, I'm not here because I've made it in life. I'm here because I'm making it every single day. And I'm building discipline. I find myself building discipline for the days that I'm not feeling like I want to do things. And I feel it's a difficult process because motivation dies. So what's left? And that's something I want to speak about today. Is like after motivation dies, what's left, you know? Motivation's a feeling, it's a fleeting feeling. It's like kind of like happiness, where you feel happy to do things, and there's days you don't feel happy to do things. Like you still have to do things, you still have to get up, you still have to push, you still have to grind. Even on those days you're not happy, even on those days where you don't feel like you want to do things, right? Motivation's kind of like that. Motivation's a feeling. It's not something that is going to guarantee you success. Success is going to be guaranteed, or not necessarily guaranteed, but success is going to be something that will come to you by being disciplined and by showing up for yourself every single day, even if you don't feel motivated. Motivation like lasts for a couple of minutes, an hour, 2 hours, maybe 2-3 days, and then after that, what happens? It's gone. It's not structure. So feelings don't carry you through long-term growth. Feelings I can feel happy today, I can feel sad today, I can feel excited. It can all be an hour apart or 5 minutes apart, and I can have all of these different emotions, right? That's not long-term, that's short-term, right? Discipline and constantly showing up for yourself, even if you don't feel motivated, even if you don't feel happy, even if you don't feel whatever you may be feeling, showing up for yourself and being disciplined. That's structure, and that's eventually going to give you long-term growth. And motivation might start your journey. Remember this, it might start your journey, but discipline and consistency is going to finish it. If you only move when you feel like it, you'll never move far. Remember that, like, motivation starts the journey, but discipline finishes the journey. And if you only move when you feel like it, you'll never go far. Discipline is a decision. Discipline equals the promises you make to yourself and the promises you tend and will upkeep. Discipline is there when motivation dies. Not saying motivation's a big thing, or you shouldn't be motivated to do things, right? But there needs to be a bigger reason behind the motivation. There needs to be a bigger reason that gets you up and keeps you disciplined even on those days when you don't feel motivated. You don't need motivation, you need standards in your life, you need structure in your life. And I think if you build habits, you build structure, you build systems, and understand that you are a human being, you're going to fail. But like, if I watched this podcast recently where Joe Rogan says something about building standards, building systems, consistently getting up and trying to do better than yourself yesterday. And at some point, right, it's just little bit. At some point when you look back, you would have seen you've built something truly amazing by simply just trying to do better each day or each week. Just try and move forward and do a little bit better. You don't have to have the whole system on lock from the get-go. You don't have to have the whole gym schedule on the get-go. This week you might just get into the gym 1 day. Next week you get into the gym 2 days. This week, the following week, 3 days, and then your system might not be good. You might not have proper gym structure. Like, you might just go in first the week just to get into the gym. But over time, if you consistently try and do better and you consistently try and learn and you consistently try and just do better than yourself yesterday, at some point along that journey, you're going to realize when you look back that you would have built a great system, and you would have been, as long as you keep your discipline and you stick to it and you consistently try and get better, you would have built a great system, and you'll be like, okay, how did I get here? Because when you started off with something so small. Many times in life we hear people that are in a career and they want to learn, and they just want to learn and they just want to learn and grow, right? And they actually go out and they start off with small things, and over time it scales up and they do something completely different, because that small thing that started them off propelled them into different things in their life, and now they got their own businesses, or now they're doing, they maybe started off as a support technician or something, and now they're a complete developer that has their own business that's developing sites and networking with people and whatever. It starts off sometimes really small, and you do grow, right? So that's something I really loved when I heard him say that. Just keep on being disciplined, because it's difficult, but it's achievable, because your body adjusts and your mind adjusts, and over time it becomes easier and easier and easier. I read this book. It's called not The Power of Habit. Yeah, it's The Power of Habit, if I'm not mistaken. It was a while ago, and they were talking about how much brain power it takes to do a new habit, or to start building a new habit or a new action. It takes a lot of brain power, right? But the minute you do that, maybe you go to the gym, for example, right? You go to the gym, right? It takes a lot of brain power to get in your car and drive to the gym and actually get in the gym and get a workout done. But if you do that over a period of a week, 2 weeks, right, it stabilizes. It doesn't take as much brain power anymore to go and do the same act that it did when you just started it off. So there is that time of where you have to just push through and stay disciplined, and over time it does get better as long as you stay consistent. Remember, motivation's a feeling, right? You need to identify and understand that it's a feeling and it's an emotion, right? And you need to understand what's your goal, and you need to choose your goal over what you're feeling. You need to choose what you are trying to achieve in your life over that feeling of sadness, of happiness, of just being motivated for that small amount of time. You have to choose discipline. You have to understand that, okay, this is what I'm feeling, and what do I need to do next? If you're motivated and you feel like going to the gym because you were supposed to go to the gym that day, go to the gym. But if you're not motivated on that specific day, but you still need to go to the gym, are you gonna go to the gym, or are you gonna walk away, or you're going to go do something else, or you're gonna cheat on a diet? It happens, right? But it's a choice. It is really a choice. And what decision are you going to take? What choice are you going to make? Are you going to stay consistent? Are you going to be disciplined and you're going to choose the discipline, the consistent way, or you're going to fall into temptation or fall into anything else that's not good for you? It's a choice. I want you to understand something. You don't owe yourself perfection, but there's no harm in trying to be perfect in everything you do. If you're a ball player, try and master your craft. If you're a developer, a dev, try and master your things. Try for perfection. If you don't get that perfect, right, it's still better than if you didn't take the steps of trying to just do better. And how you get that mentality is just by trying to do better day by day, just do better. And a couple of months time, you realize, I've done a lot, I've grown a lot. It's real growth. Motivation dies, guys, but character doesn't. And I truly believe, like I always say, you don't find yourself, you build yourself. And this is a building stage, right? It requires discipline. I And I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to you guys, and I hope this guy it helps whoever's watching this video. If you are in the same position that I am, where you're trying to build and establish your life, don't forget that what's crazy is that not too long ago I saw this video where this lady was like, just because God is taking you the long road doesn't mean He's taking you the wrong road. You just have to stick to it. And that really got to me, man. It really got to me. It makes sense that sometimes that you might be going the long road, but it's the road that needs to be taken, and enjoy life on that road. Take some time, stop, look around, don't just laser focus. Remember the goal, remember what you're working for. Stick to the plan, stick to the discipline, stick to the consistency. But look around, enjoy times with your family, enjoy times with yourself, enjoy times doing little things, man. And I think for me personally, I haven't grown to that point where I can enjoy the little things in life, and I feel like next year or this year I want to still implement those things, where like just sitting sometimes in a park or at the beach. Those small things that where you get that small breaks in life, those are like happiness moments, and like you must just feel it, man. And I haven't grown that much in life to understand that, because we all get just roped into the buzz, roped into the grind, and we can easily lose sight of life that's moving, But nonetheless, staying disciplined is the key to success or a better life than you currently have. Understanding the goal. Motivation does die. Motivation is good, but it does die. But discipline is what keeps you moving forward. Don't forget, man. Auras built, bruh. Under pressure, you don't find yourself, you build yourself. Thank you for watching another video of The Company. If you like, share this video, subscribe, and I hope this video helps whoever's watching this video. And yeah, stay tuned to my next video. Peace.